Summer auks in breeding plumage near to the shore or at their colonies are easy to identify, but in autumn and winter we tend to see them flying rapidly past, far offshore, or bobbing around in heavy seas offering poor views. Add to this the fact that the distinctive breeding plumage is lost, and winter auks can be a serious challenge to identify. Some birds invariably cannot be identified, and even very experienced birders will happily leave some distant birds unidentified. But, as is so often the case with seabirds, a combination of jizz and distribution of white and dark markings may help us confidently identify certain individuals. All auks are heavy-bodied, with small narrow wings that whir as they fly by, and their size, unfortunately, can be extremely difficult to judge out to sea, unless more than 2 or more species are present together. Perhaps the easiest species to identify is black guillemot. Ironically, despite its name, in winter this is the whitest of the auks. This species is most commonly found in the north and west of the country. The body is torpedo-shaped, and the relatively long, slender bill and head, yet a stocky rear end, gives a distinctive silhouette, meaning that the wings appear to be a little over halfway back. The most obvious plumage feature is the large white wing patch, visible when swimming and flying. Overall, the bird appears almost white, with black upper wings and that distinctive white wing patch. Little auk is a tiny, starling-sized seabird that is sometimes seen off our shores in winter and on passage from their high Arctic breeding grounds. If their size is apparent, then this alone can give a confident identification, but this is rarely the case. Little auks appear very front-heavy and blunt both on the water and in flight. They have no apparent beak. They have a distinctive habit, when feeding, of swimming with bum up and head down, with their wings trailing in the water at their sides. In terms of colouring, they are dark above and white below. The most striking marking, when far out to sea, is a shining white cheek patch, which comes up from the white belly, behind the eye and in front of the wings. In all plumages, little auks have odd white streaking markings on their black backs, and at relatively close quarters these can be surprisingly obvious. Puffin is a very well-known and familiar auk, but it's difficult to see outside of the breeding season, when they leave their colonies and head far out to sea. The famous coloured beak cover is sloughed off, although the smaller, duller winter beak is still large and out of proportion to the body, and this heavy-billed silhouette is one of the key identification features. Puffin is relatively scarce close to the shore, except on passage. Individuals then can be picked up by a combination of their small size, their distinctive shape, and the whitish cheek completely surrounded by black. The 2 most common species around our coasts in winter are, sadly, also the 2 most difficult to separate, Guillemot and Razorbill. Both are a similar size and noticeably larger than the other species. They are both common in inshore waters and can be found anywhere around the coast of UK and Ireland. Both are dark above and white below, usually appearing black and white, with a white chest, foreneck and cheeks. Both show a black cap and a dark streak through the eyes, and with good views a narrow white wing bar can be seen. But none of these features help us separate the 2. What are the differences? In fair light, Razorbill will be black and white, whereas Guillemot is lighter, in fact it's brown and white, and this is noticeable when both species are seen together. The most obvious feature, however, is the shape and size of the bill. Guillemot has a slim, pointed beak, giving the whole bird a slim, narrow, pointed overall appearance, whereas the much stouter bill of the Razorbill gives the bird a heavier, stockier and blunter appearance. In flight, as well as the shape, you may be lucky to see the smoky streaked flanks and underwing markings of Guillemot, as opposed to the pure white undersides of Razorbill. Guillemot feet trail behind their tail, whereas Razorbill feet nestle in their longer tails. Much is written in field guides about the differences in plumage of these 2 species, but unless seen well in good light, the 2 can be very difficult to tell apart.